First, we're going to start by prepping the skin, and I'll be using this micellar water by MS Metics to clean the skin. So I'll just put a small amount of the micellar water on a face wipe and use it to thoroughly clean the skin. Cleaning is very important as it will help eliminate all the oil, dirt and impurities from the skin and leave you with a clean and fresh skin for your makeup application. After cleaning, I'll let it dry and then I go in with my moisturizer. I'll be using this moisturizer by Sept. It's a lightweight moisturizer and it's good for all skin types. So I'm going to take a small amount of the moisturizer and use it to moisturize her face. Moisturizing is very important as it will help your makeup blend easily and will also give you that glow beneath the makeup. So take your time and moisturize the face properly. While moisturizing, do not forget to moisturize the under eyes as this will help prevent under eye creasing and patchiness. And that's me checking if the moisturizer is dry and ready for the next step. I also went ahead and gave her some lip gloss to moisturize her lips. While prepping the skin, do not forget to prep the lips. Having a soft and smooth lips will help your lipstick blend easily. So now I'm going to apply a mattifying primer to her T-zone, and I'll be using this Super Stay Matte Primer. So I'm just using a small amount of the primer, and the T-zone area is the area around the nose, the forehead, the chin and above the cupid bow, that's above the upper lip. So I'm just massaging it in this area very well to ensure that the skin absorbs the products very well. After that, I'll let it dry and then I go in with my hydrating primer. I'll be using this primer by Maybelline, and this hydrating primer is going to create a smooth base for my foundation. So I'll apply the primer all over the face except the under eyes. Note that I have not applied any primer under the eyes. The only thing that I have applied under the eyes is the moisturizer. This is because if you build up so many products under the eyes, it's going to make the under eyes to crease and to look cakey. When you're done applying your primer, you let it dry and then you go in with your foundation. I'll be using this foundation by V Beauty, and I'll be mixing the two shades to get her perfect shade. I'm using this small brush to place the foundation on her face, and I'm also using this beauty blender from White Glam Cosmetics to blend it out. This beauty blender is very soft and it blends makeup very well, and I'm taking my time to blend her face and ensure that everything is smooth and nicely blended. I always take a lot of time to blend my foundation because it's the base of the makeup, and the base of the makeup has to be smooth. If the base is not smooth, the makeup won't be smooth. Just look at the skin and how nicely blended it is. After blending the foundation, I'm going to go ahead and contour the face, and I'll be using this concealer from Blossom Makeup. I'm just going to take some of the concealer and apply it on the cheekbones, that's on both sides, and also the forehead. Note how I'm blending it upward, and I'm doing this in order to achieve a lifted face. So if you want to achieve that lifted or that long face, make sure you blend your contour upward. So right now I'll go ahead and apply my blush, and I'll be using these two shades from my Eye Magic lip palette. So you can use lipstick as a blush, but make sure it's not a matte lipstick. I'll apply it slightly above my contour on the two sides, and I'll use this beauty blender to blend it out. Make sure you blend it out very well and ensure that there are no harsh lines. Once I'm done with this side, I'll move to the other side and blend. So the next step is highlighting, and I'll be using this concealer palette and the LA Girl concealer. I'm using the two concealers because the concealer palette is very dry, so I have to make it a bit moist by mixing it with the LA Girl concealer. I'm going to apply the mixed concealer under the eyes, on the forehead, on the chin, and at the center of the nose. After applying the concealer, I'll then go in with my beauty blender to blend it out, and I'll start by blending the forehead. After that, I'll go ahead and blend the chin, and then move to the under eyes and blend. While blending the under eyes, be careful not to overspread the concealer. I prefer you put it bit by bit and add it if need be. Now I'll just go ahead and contour the nose, and I'm using the same Blossom Makeup concealer I used to contour the other parts of the face. I'm also using my beauty blender to blend it out. After contouring the nose, I noticed that the under eye wasn't as bright as I wanted it to be. So I went ahead and added some more LA Girl concealer to the areas I wanted to brighten up. And I used my beauty blender to blend it out. Now that I'm done highlighting, I'll just go ahead and set the face. And I'll be using this RCMA No Color Setting Powder. Before setting, I make sure I blend the under eyes very well, and then I go in with my setting powder immediately. This is to ensure that I'm not setting any creases. So I blend it out and then I go in with my powder. And I'm just doing the same thing on the other side and the other parts of the face where I applied the concealer. After setting the highlighted part, I will now go ahead and use my V Beauty powder palette to set the other parts of the face that I didn't set with the setting powder. I'll also be using this CPD blush palette and a fluffy brush to apply powder blush to the same areas I applied the cream blush. It's time to bake the face, and I'll be using the same setting powder I used to set the face for baking. So I'll just use my beauty blender to take some of the setting powder and use it to bake the face. The purpose of baking is to ensure that the excess setting powder helps absorb excess oil throughout the day. So I'm going to apply it on the areas of the face that can easily produce oil, like the sides of the nose, above the cupid's bow, the forehead, which are basically the same areas where I applied the mattifying primer. So this is just another step to help with the absorption of excess oil throughout the day, thereby leaving you or your client with a very long-lasting and flawless makeup. So after baking, you let it sit for some time while you do your eyebrows, eyeshadow or the lips. So I went ahead and did the eyebrows and the eyeshadow, and now it's time to fix the baking. Some people dust the setting powder off, but I don't do that because I understand the role that the excess setting powder is going to play in making the makeup last long. So what I do is that I take a pressed powder that is 2 shades lighter than her skin tone, and I use it to change the color of the setting powder on her face. And I also use it to brighten the areas that needs to be brightened. So now I'm blending to ensure that everything is smooth and nicely blended. I went ahead to contour the nose with powder, and I'm using a small angle brush and a powder that is 2 shades darker than her skin tone for that. After contouring the nose, I went ahead to do her lips, and now I'm spraying the face. And this is the final look. I hope you learned a lot from this video. Please like the video, share the video, and also drop a comment.